We're rolling. So, Gordon, Justin, thank you guys so much for joining us. Would you mind giving the audience a quick intro of who you guys are, what you guys do, and so on?
Sure. Gordon Steffens, Performance Plus Global Logistics. I'm here with Justin Buell. We're actually logistics company. What we move freight around the world as freight brokers or freight management company. And we're based in St. Charles, Missouri.
Awesome. And how did you guys find me initially?
Honestly, I believe I was viewing on a Facebook
Yeah,
application and saw something that was presented out there about are you looking for KPI help? Or are you trying to build something with KPIs? And
right.
Justin and I have been talking about it, and Justin's been doing all kinds of detail on trying to put that together. And so I think I responded on the link, and you and I had an engagement.
hmm And so, for the audience, for context, they came to me initially for a KPI dashboard, right? And that's something super important, especially as you scale, because if you can't see the data of what's going on, what people are doing, or what are the bottlenecks on the business, it's kind of impossible for you to figure out what I need to fix in the first place. Gordon, could you kind of give more context maybe on what are some of the metrics you were looking for? Where was like there are some gaps in terms of tracking?
Sure. We're doing a lot of things manually over the last few years, and as we're trying to become more accountable on what we do to continue the growth in the company, we were looking for something that was measurable and specific. And so what this was going to do was to take a manual process out of what we do on a daily basis. We had an employee that every morning measured these metrics. What we were looking for was number of shipments booked, number of shipments by person, revenue by person, revenue by the entire team, margin by shipment, and then actually call activity. Are we reaching out to our calls, our prospects? How many calls are we making a day that you've been assigned? And then from there, we're also looking at what type of new activity you might have had during this particular period per day, per month. And in other words, are you touching and bringing on new opportunities? So those are some of the areas that we were excited about looking at and being able to see basically through our KPI dashboard on a daily live basis.
hmm And what do those metrics mean to you? For example, with calls, like if those calls are not done, what happens? Like, is there revenue that's left in the tank? Is it like people aren't making like what's the impact? Because every KPI, everyone can track a ton of numbers, but every number should mean something, right? So you don't have to go over every number, but like high level, what's the significance you would say with after having this dashboard for you?
Well, I think that's a great question. And I think one of the things is that we're always trying to look at things to either help our employees, help the customer as to what are the reasons why we do certain things. And so if we're actually making calls, you can basically equate quickly with the number of calls. Here's a quick example. We've had times where we had sales blitzes where we actually had all employees reaching out to existing customers as well as new ones. The following weeks, our volume would grow up exponentially. We'd be able to see it grow just because we're reaching out and touching a customer. Even an existing customer, if you're calling them and just offering some type of new solution, letting them know that this is our holiday schedule, they're more than likely going to give you a shipment today or tomorrow. So number one, calls, big deal. The other part of it, if we're looking live at revenue and seeing where we are, and we have a goal by an individual and a team, then they can see that's our profitability. That's what it takes to run the company. And that's what it takes for us to basically go forward and grow. If they don't see that, then it's not really a deal. And we probably don't worry about that shipment today. Maybe we'll get it tomorrow, which also means somebody else could get that tomorrow and take it from us. So
Right.
anything you can see live, measurable, and look at, it's crucial for me as the owner to be able to see what's happening. And as different departments, Justin heading a department, for him to see what's happening there. And then our actual individual team members, if they see what they're doing, they thought they were busy, but actually they weren't. We have an old term, productive or busy versus productive. Everybody's busy, but all of a sudden, if you look at it and go, gosh, I only did
Right.
6 shipments today. And we look over and go, Mary Jo did 40. What did I do different? And that allows me to look and say, that person made a lot of calls.
Right.
Maybe tomorrow they'll have more freight. And you can equate what each one of those indices has with what we're measuring.
Right. And like to your point, also, it's not just about calls, it's also about margin, right? That's one of the things that we're tracking. You can do a ton of calls, but if your margin or if the actual amount of money that's getting put in isn't as high, even if you have a ton of out input, it's like, what's the point, right? So that kind of makes it clear on the most important metric, which for you is revenue, right? Or margin actually in this case.
That's absolutely a very good point. We've experienced that also. We had a very, very large customer that we basically right-sided due to the fact that it was running big numbers, let's just say millions and millions of dollars. But then we realized that we weren't making the money we thought. And this actually, if we would have been looking at your index and things like that, we probably would have saw that sooner. And we
Yeah.
can take the customer, either raise the rates or figure out what type of a product that we can provide that causes us to be able to be more efficient. Maybe they use our software and we don't book the shipment for them. In that particular case, we had a lot of people working the account, tracing, tracking, booking, and so
Yeah.
our cost for manpower was very extensive. So therefore, a customer that books their own shipment, we've got them set at a good level of profitability. Their margin may be 25, 30%. We have other ones that we may be, are lower, and so we're actually not profitable to even have the account. This is
Mhm.
what these measurements will help us understand by person. And I have no doubt we're going to have you looking at other things, even drilling down to the customer level going forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I guess to round this off, if there's someone that's in a similar situation to you, they saw me through Facebook ads, they're kind of probably watching you just like how you probably must have seen some of the videos I had with my previous clients, and they're kind of on the line, what would you kind of say to them?
I think you need to look at this quickly. I think we should have done this 5 years ago or longer. And I would say that the benefit is phenomenal. It uses that old term measurable and specific, and it puts it in a different context. So no question, I don't think there's anything that we can't measure. And the quicker we do it, the more we learn about our end business. The ultimate point is, what are we doing to satisfy our customer? And this will help us do that.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. Gordon, if someone wants to find you, maybe even work with you sometime in the future, what's like a good place to kind of reach out to you?
You can reach us any day at Performance Plus Global Logistics. Our domain is pplusglobal.com. That's
Yeah.
PPLUS global.com. I'm Gordon at pplusglobal.com. They
Yeah.
can call me 636-946-7587. Anybody in the office will find me. I love to talk to people about things that work to help other businesses. That's really what we've all done, is learn how to collaborate across all levels. There's not an industry that we don't like to help and work together with. So love the technology you provided, and we're more than excited to be able to share that and how we can all work to do similar things to help each other.